This is Part 2, Episode 147. Virtual Universe Ganwu Continent, Pinghai Company's 86th level meeting room. One side was the upper echelon of Pinghai Company, the other was the Virtual Universe Company's Ganwu Division's investment side upper echelon. Shushin and Bo Ti exchanged documents, on it were their signatures. Pleasure doing business with you. Pleasure doing business with you. Shushin smiled and stood up, lifting a wine glass. After signing, we have to down our drinks in celebration. That's a practice of Earth, Mr. Bo Ti. You should try our newest tea drink from Pinghai Company. Bo Ti smiled and received it. Down our drinks in celebration. That's new. The two lifted their glasses and raised them together. Not bad at all. This bitter taste revolves in your mouth, really wonderful. Bo Ti nodded. I like the name tea too. Bo Ti pronounced the word tea awkwardly. Shushin smiled. I like it too, because it can bring about great profits. Yes, that is true. Bo Ti's eyebrows lifted. With the universe technology, analyzing several tastes and flavors of Earth wasn't difficult. However, any particular flavor they produced was specially protected in the virtual universe. Back then, Shushin took many special flavors of Earth and swiftly registered these flavors on a large scale. Even if other companies managed to imitate them, they couldn't copy them, or they would be fined heavily for the usage. The future of Pinghai Company will be up to you, Mrs. Luo. Bo Ti said, otherwise, any failed business, I have to take responsibility for. Rest assured. Shushin smiled. Haha, Pinghai Company's staff and management are exceptional. I can definitely rest assured. Bo Ti smiled. Then I'll look forward, for the day Pinghai Company rises to become a second-tier company, hopefully in the next 1,000 years. My aim is 100 years. Shushin smiled. Bo Ti's eyes immediately gleamed. Right, in 100 years, the earlier the better. Please, Mr. Bo Ti, go take a rest. I've already prepared a banquet. Shushin smiled, following which she arranged for people to lead the investment department of the Virtual Universe Ganwu Division to rest. Within the meeting room, only Shushin and the short-haired girl remained. Big Sister Shu, we've succeeded. The short-haired girl said excitedly. With a price of 10.2 times, allowing them 51% shares, it's still okay. Shushin smiled. With this huge investment, our Pinghai Company's overall capital has reached 32,882 mixed elements. These over 30 years, Shushin managed the company and Luo Hua was in charge of investments. Over 30 years, their capital rose from close to 600 mixed elements to close to 3,000 mixed elements. While it seemed like a small increase, by just a few times, if placed on Earth, the efficiency would simply be too little and not worth mentioning. However, in truth, such a return in the universe was already considered extremely high, as the higher the investment, the harder it was for returns. The bigger the investment, the easier it was for it to attract huge powers and firms' notice. The moment they weren't careful, they would make losses. Over 30 years, earning over 5 times in profits. That was hard. Many undyings with trillions of years of lifespans, even getting one time in return for their investments was extremely difficult. As there were many ancient beings in the virtual universe, with lifespans in the trillions, along with the virtual universe system regulations, making it so that the currencies hardly ever inflated. Imagine one mixed element of 100 million years ago. After that period of time, its buying power had almost no change whatsoever. This led to large corporations' investments finding it hard to make any money. Even Pinghai Company relied on the swift expansion of the food and beverage chain along with investments to have such returns. With the split in shares, the Pinghai Company had 49% of the shares, the Virtual Universe Company took 51% of it. In truth, the main shareholders Luo Feng, Luo Hua and Shushin before had huge increases in wealth. Even though they had less shares now, the capital of the company had risen from close to 3,000 mixed elements to close to 33,000 mixed elements. Luo Feng, Luo Hua and Shushin added together, immediately had over 16,000 mixed elements in shares. A flagship company of the Virtual Universe Company is separated into third tier, second tier, and first tier, and finally special tier companies. Shushin looked at the document in her hands. Reaching a capital of 1,000 mixed elements puts one in the third tier, breaking 100,000 puts one in the second tier. Breaking 10 million mixed elements puts one in the first tier. Going past 1 billion puts one as a special tier. The business and martial departments were the two biggest departments of the Virtual Universe Company. The manager of a third tier is still considered an outside member. The manager of a second tier can become a last phase region core member. First tier manager equates to a heaven and ground member. Special tier manager equates to an absolute beginning member. Shushin looked at the document, her eyes gleaming. Our company's capital is reaching 33,000 mix elements. It's not far from the 100,000 mark. Shushin said softly, we'll reach there in 60 years. We'll work hard. Shushin smiled, thinking within, 60 years here will be just the amount of time he'll take to finish Primal Chaos City training, before he finishes, to be able to meet at Yuseong Mountain. I guess his expression will be priceless. Shushin's eyes were filled with anticipation. Primal Chaos City. Right here. Luo Feng walked until he reached the entrance of a mansion. At the time, there were many warriors there entering. Tru Yang is teaching today. I heard his explaining the 9 universe tablets first to third picture. Even though I'm studying the fourth picture, there's always benefits from listening to the basics. Me too. Sub-sect leaders are indeed leaders. The sector lords and undyings all entered the mansion. Luo Feng followed. The scanner on the entrance scanned through Luo Feng without any resistance. Obviously he had to pass the requirements to listen to the class. Within the mansion, it was a 10 kilometers long and wide plaza. There a few hundred warriors had already gathered to listen. There's quite a lot of people. Luo Feng sat in the corner. Young one, first time. A bald old man laughed as he sat not far away from Luo Feng. From one look, he could tell this youth was only a universe level.
Yes. Luo Feng nodded. Able to come attend the class at universe level, looks like you were chosen from the genius battle, and are probably among the top 2. The old bald man laughed. At this time, over 1,000 people had gathered in the plaza. A formless pressure immediately engulfed the plaza. Over 1,000 warriors gathered there. All went silent as a form of respect. A golden armored tall and sturdy ape-man walked onto the plaza. Every step he took flashed a few kilometers. Behind him tens of warriors followed. Teleportation, that's teleportation. Tru Yang's teleportation has already reached an unbelievable level. With hushed voices, discussion sprung all over. However, the noise was still extremely low. Those following Tru Yang are his disciples. If we can take him as our master, that would be great. That depends on your capability. Without it, why would he accept you? Luo Feng held his breath and watched. In the distance, Tru Yang sat cross-legged. Beside him were tens of disciples. As for the others incapable of becoming his disciples, the thousands of them could only come attend his classes. Today I will clearly explain the 9 universe tablets' third picture. This third picture is the basic. Tru Yang pointed into mid-air and a complex engraving appeared, similar to the golden engraving on his armor. This first picture goes with the origin lore this way. In mid-air, the complex golden engravings revolved, almost like a mechanical wheel, infused with mysterious lore energies. So mystical. Luo Feng watched with his mouth wide open. Tru Yang explained the class in detail. Even his calculations were very clear. The group of warriors were still stunned, however, by the lesson. According to each person's comprehension, the feeling was different. All right, today I'll end here. 3 days later, Tru Yang said indifferently. Thank you, teacher. Over 1,000 warriors bowed respectfully. At this time, a black-haired youth walked out from the amidst the 1,000, immediately walking ahead of the group. The group all turned to stare, filled with shock. This punk wants to request Tru Yang as his teacher? Sitting right above, a smile appeared on Tru Yang's face. This Luo Feng is really going with Tru Yang as his teacher. In another mansion of Primal Chaos City, Blade Emperor, who was quietly meditating, shook his head, helpless. Towards the sect leader Tru Yang Emperor before him, Luo Feng was filled with gratitude. Back when I first came to Primal Chaos City, I was simply a small figure. Tru Yang's one pointer allowed me to walk the most correct path. Maybe to him it was a casual pointer, but to me, it probably affected my next trillion years of training. Luo Feng bowed respectfully. According to Primal Chaos City customs, with over 1,000 other warriors looking at him, he shouted respectfully, I earnestly request to become a disciple of yours. I earnestly request to become a disciple of yours. The sound resounded throughout the plaza. Over 1,000 warriors all looked at Tru Yang Emperor. Will he accept? Ha ha, Tru Yang Emperor looked at Luo Feng and laughed carefreely. From today, you'll be a disciple of I, Tru Yang Emperor. There was chaos below. Follow me. Tru Yang stood up and took Luo Feng along with the rest of his disciples. What? Tru Yang really accepted Luo Feng as his disciple? A handsome Gu Sai Luo frowned. Right now both Luo Feng and Bolan have sect leader Undyings as their teachers. And Rong Jun, he has a universe country leader as his teacher. They were already leading ahead. With a teacher giving help now, their improvement will be even more shocking. Gu Sai Luo gritted his teeth. I have to grasp my time and quickly pass the third level. That way I can find a teacher. Madman, he really cannot be undermined. In the training grounds, covered in perspiration, Rong Jun said softly, my opponent is not just Bolan, but Luo Feng as well. Damn. Tru Yang really accepted him? The Manca Prince Wuka could only roar softly, then return to working hard. The group of geniuses all felt the pressure, as actually succeeding in getting a sect leader as one's teacher wasn't easy. Firstly, one had to pass the third level as a requirement, and normally from the 1,000 that come from the genius competition, the number that could actually pass the third level within the 30 years in Primal Chaos City could be counted with one hand. From previous competitions, the number able to pass the third level mostly stayed under 5. Even if there were more geniuses or exceptional geniuses in a batch, it never exceeded 10. Even after passing the third level, those undying sect leaders hardly ever accepted either. These old weird things mostly existed for over 1 trillion years. It usually was a long while before they truly accepted a disciple. As time flowed, these geniuses never let up for a moment, especially with a large amount of targets and goals to chase before them. These geniuses improved with shocking speed. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. In the 13th year after they arrived in Primal Chaos City, Rong Jun passed the third level. In the 19th year, Luo Feng passed the 4th level, and on that day Bolan too passed the 5th level. The two far exceeded everybody else. That day, it spurred Rong Jun and many others to give it a shot, however none succeeded. In the 21st year, Wuka passed the 3rd level. In the 25th year, Long Yun and Jiolai 11 passed the 3rd level. In the 28th year, Qian Shui passed the 3rd level. In the blink of an eye, 30 years had passed. Within Primal Chaos City, Tru Yang Emperor's mansion. Luo Feng, there's only 10 days before you have to leave Primal Chaos City. Tru Yang laughed as he looked at Luo Feng. After leaving, if you meet any hard questions while training, you can ask me. As for other world matters, I hope you can settle them yourselves, unless you really meet something that you have no way to solve. Come look for me, understood? Yes, teacher. Still dressed in a dark red armor, the black short-haired youth stood there, even though compared to Tru Yang and the others he was skinny and small. However, that suppressed fierce intrepid energy he emanated made hearts tremble. Compared to 30 years ago when he first came, he was no longer as young and tender. There was a fierce toughness. It was one that stemmed from comprehending the universe origin laws, one that formed from melding that comprehension deep within one's bones, a special aura. Tru Yang nodded his head satisfied. He was extremely satisfied with this student. Go on. Tru Yang smiled. Luo Feng knelt down hard, causing Tru Yang Emperor to shake his head and laugh. Stand up. Thank you, teacher, for the 20 years of guidance. Luo Feng remained kneeling. Your disciple will not let you down. Within, Luo Feng was filled with gratitude. This huge golden fur warrior that looked like a golden ape man, even though his position was extremely high, he was usually very sincere and close to his disciples. 20 years. How long has Luo Feng been living? Even though he was grateful towards his teacher Hu Yangbo from the Yunmo planet, they never really interacted. However, in Primal Chaos City, he had been interacting with Tru Yang Emperor for 20 years. That teacher-student relationship had naturally become deep. Haha, won't disappoint me? Tru Yang rubbed the fur on his chin, laughing. My first goal for you is to enter the Primal Secret region. The second goal is to become an Undying and getting the title Emperor. Understood?
Yes. Luo Feng answered firmly, resonating loudly. Ha ha. Over countless years, I've had close to 100 disciples, yet only your third senior has ever truly immediately become Undying and later becoming an emperor. Tru Yang laughed, his eyes squinting. Now it's up to you. Luo Feng was very clear. His teacher had a total of 92 disciples. 23 had already fallen, and the number following him in Primal Chaos City was only 35. Some had the title official. Only one had become emperor. That was the third senior, called Tai Jun, an absolute warrior from the Nakaman clan. He had become a disciple a very long time ago. His teacher had existed for over 1 trillion years. To be able to be called the third senior, that was definitely one that he accepted in the previous 100 million years. currently the senior, was the idol amongst the group of disciples. Tai Jun, with his title Bloodthirsty Emperor. In terms of reputation, he was even more prominent than his teacher Tru Yang. Of course his teacher was a being close to a universe country leader. In terms of strength, he was still stronger. Go on, go on. Tru Yang smiled and waved his hand. Yes. Luo Feng got up to leave. Walking out of his teacher's mansion, he turned to look, feeling bittersweet within. The last time was leaving Earth, this time it's leaving my teacher. Luo Feng shook his head. You are still young, when you've trained for 10 million years, you'll get used to it. In his mind Barbata's voice resounded. All right, Luo Feng frowned, training for 10 million years is a thing for the future. Right now, I haven't even lived for 100 years, there's no need to talk about such faraway matters. Walking along the alley. Luo Feng sighed. 30 years. In a flash, it's over. Luo Feng was happy within. I'm already much stronger than when I came. His earth body, as he hadn't been training it, remained at universe level 1. However, the moment he leaves Primal Chaos City, he could use the life pool and easily reach universe level 9. As he didn't have any bottleneck, he could easily break through straight to Domain Lord. The Mosha clan was the same level as the Golden Horned Beast. Before coming to the Primal Universe, Luo Feng had already prepared a large amount of required metals for the Domain Lord level, hence it maintained its normal evolution speed. A total of 30 years in Primal Chaos City. A little more than 10 years ago, it broke through to Domain Lord level 1. And Domain Lord level 1 to 3 required 150 years. 4 to 6 required 600 years. 7 to 9 required 3,600 years. Domain Lord level 9 breaking through to Sector Lord required about 5,000 years. Using the optimum metal groups, during the Domain Lord level, could at most raise its evolution efficiency by 52 times. It had been 20 years in Primal Chaos City, meaning its normal evolution had been going on for over 1,000 years. Hence, the current Golden Horned Beast and Mosha clan had both reached Domain Lord level 6. If I go to the life pool and evolve to universe level 9, I have to stop there. If I break through to Domain Lord, Luo Feng thought, that would be troublesome. In theory, the moment I'm Domain Lord level 1 I can rise straight to Domain Lord level 9. However, I'm different from others, my growth is limited by the internal world. Since his internal world was Domain Lord level 6, then there was no bottleneck before then. However, if the internal world didn't grow, his body's soul had no way to grow at all. When the Golden Horned Beast and Mosha clan both reach Domain Lord level 9, then I'll make my human body rise to Domain Lord level 9. Luo Feng thought. In Primal Chaos City, my biggest improvement is in the comprehension of the origin laws. Luo Feng exclaimed. Studying the 9 Universe Tablet, plus the teachings of his teacher Tru Yang Emperor, along with the study of floating blood, his improvement was indeed huge. 10 years ago, he had completely comprehended floating blood's first blade form. The beginning was the toughest, with experience and his teacher's pointers. What's more, the 108 blade forms were the most compatible with the Raindrop Pictures' 9 blade forms, hence with 3 years of work, Luo Feng had comprehended the second blade form and after another 3, finished the third. The further he got, the higher the efficiency. In the 28th year of being in Primal Chaos City, Luo Feng had comprehended the 9th blade form. At this point, the 9 Universe Tablets' Raindrop Picture didn't hold much mystery at all to Luo Feng anymore. He had completely comprehended it. The 1st of September forms were easy. The middle 27, however, were much harder, much less the final 72. Now that it was about time to leave Primal Chaos City soon, Luo Feng hadn't even comprehended the 10th blade form. Even though I haven't finished the 10th, the second drizzle picture, I've had great improvements over these 3 years. Luo Feng thought, there's another 10 days before I leave. Before that I'll try the Heavenly Bridge one more time, and see if I can pass the 5th level. If I pass, I'll get another chance to study the tablet. With that final study chance, I'll be able to absorb it slowly after I leave. A large fish was flying in that unstable universe between the primal and actual universe. within this large fish. Sir Knight, of the 1,000 geniuses from this batch, there are 816 still surviving. Dressed in jasper armor was Jade Emperor, who was bowing. She continued, of which the most exceptional is Bolin, he's already past the 5th level currently. Next is Luo Feng, he's past the 4th. The next 5 have all passed the 3rd level. The most shocking of the group is Luo Feng, in his 19th year, he already passed the 4th level, far exceeding the others, he is the closest to Bolin. The other 10 Undyings all reacted, but remained respectful. Nine-Blade Knight, however, sat in the throne and listened, nodding, saying softly, Bolin. Luo Feng. Rumble. The ship continued advancing. Nine-Blade Knight sat in the ship headed to Primal Chaos City. He was prepared to receive Luo Feng's batch back into the actual universe. This video will end here.